advantage. Kind of a big deal against Morphling. Used to be, I don't know if that was necessarily a hard counter by any means, but it would do a lot more damage because he's able to strength morph. But now it's just a fixed amount, so maybe not even.
Arguably, it's better early, right? Because Morph is low health in the start, so then the Siphon is very strong against his low max health to begin with, especially if you catch him in a stun or silence to start off. But yeah, later on, when Morph does start morphing into strength, definitely weaker than it was before. So it's situational, really. Kits is so out of this lane. I mean, that's the thing, right? Because we were talking about, okay, from a strategic perspective, like, we like the Dire lineup in isolation and what it can do, but if your lanes are going to get crushed to this extent, you might not get to realize what the potential of the lineup is, and obviously that is a factor you take into account. But I think this mid lane, speaking strictly from theory, I don't think it is this Lina heavy. There's also a bit of a skill difference going on here in terms of lane mechanics.
Don't burn
Oh, Laguna Blade, not enough. Hits with just a sliver of HP, but MSS is looking to backstab right now. Waiting for another round of spells from Quinn. Oh, going for the courier instead. I think could have gone for a lift into LSA, but either way, it doesn't really matter. Quinn is still just destroying. It's like you said, just using the sleight of fist, as we can see more rotation in. Both Fata and MSS have come to play. Fata's going to get stunned up by Giant as Rune Battle in the top area. LSA is going to connect on Kits. Obviously not level 6, so can't really use a Remnant or anything of the sort. He will walk away with just a sliver of HP again. And it does have 9 stick charges though, so Courier was killed obviously, so another minute before he can bring anything out. And this leaves a 1v1 battle for Leslau and DNM.
Another thing about this mid matchup is not just the raw CS differential and the denies, it's the fact that Ember has to buy Raindrop as well, right? To even stand in the lane. Quinn can go full value. He ends up buying a Raindrop as well, not for defensive purposes in this lane, it doesn't matter here. But he gets some mana regen. But the Ember ideally does not want to buy this item, but he kind of has to in order to stand his ground and use presence. So for one hero it's a necessity and the other one it's a luxury. Just further adds to Lina's advantage here. If the wave is in this position, what do you do? I know I'm talking about mid a lot, but the reason I'm focusing on it so much is that this is a huge part of Fire Red Force Staff's lineup, is their mid pick being able to set up for success for them. They're very reliant on slight chains for their strategy to work. If you feel starved out as Ember, it's hard to find moves around the map because you're kind of looking after yourself, right? You need to get levels and get some sort of items so that you can...
One and 7, but the big story is that Leslau is out-leveling DNM by a very good amount. And he is getting complete free farm. I mean, the top 3 CS in the game are on the side of Sonics, although even the top 3 net worths even at this stage. And he's actually rushing a
and
blade.
They're going in here. Yep. Oh,
okay, a little bit of
there.
Yeah, a little bit of something.
Rebound failed.
Much.
This is a go call for Speed in bottom lane now. Obviously, Yawar will survive, but Speed should be playing very aggressively here against the Morphling, not letting him get farmed. Because DP, if there's one thing DP does well when over-leveled, it is bullying short-range or melee heroes out of the lane, and Yawar is just going to go jungle now. Not really feasible. He has his Morbid Mask, so he does end up buying it. Obviously, with Fata rotating, feels way more valuable, and you probably wanted to buy it anyway, like we talked about. This is not a Linken's game, so you're not going to buy Ring of Health.
Yeah, Quinn 500 away from finishing Boots of Travel, has the double damage. Had the Arcane Rune before that, has gotten basically, actually, I think every power rune so far.
He almost has as many denies as his opponent has last.
Oh, let me...
Just to give you some perspective here. He's 59 and 20 against 28 and 1.
That is pretty rough stuff.
Double damage.
Oh, he's going to try to go for the kill. Laguna Blade again. DD, not going to be enough to get the kill, but forces Kits back. Quinn, not too scared. Oh, okay. The Dragon Slave is just enough damage to get the kill. Finally finds it onto Kits, and now we have the lift into the LSA. Quinn with a double kill. And this is quickly getting out of hand in favor of Sonics.
Big mistake there from Kits to get killed off like that. That was a very obvious and telegraphed
Top
play.
lane. We have
getting
Dispose. DNM. Not going to get dueled. I think a Blade Mail is coming out already. Yes.
It is.
That's really fast.
And even though they don't kill the Luna here, this is still a great move from Sonics because they force the DP teleport to top, and she does not want to be here. Like, now you're stuck up here as DP with your EXO ready, and you want to use this to push a tower, but you're not going to push the top tower. It's not going to happen. Like, it's very easy for Sonics to defend this with the advantage they have and how strong their Luna is with travels. So, effectively, you just... The one lane that's going well for 5-Rat 4-Staff was just forced to rotate. So now, none of them
Who
are.
gets another rune? It is Quinn Callahan.
Another Arcane.
The rune god. Actually absurd. That time, 5-Rat actually brought some heroes to try to secure the top rune, but obviously the 50-50 not going their way. Where's the DP right now? So Speed actually TP to the top lane. That's going to leave Morphling, Mr. Yawar, to just free farm both the jungle and the bot lane for himself. And
Yeah,
Giant has to be a bit careful here.
Exactly. I was just gonna say, like, you're not safe here as Shaker. If you get caught by Rubik or by Marcy, you can easily get killed off. Looks like the pressure from Sonics will be put top. They do have the 10-minute siege creep, so they're gonna put their boots of travel to use. And
Our Shaker's coming.
Will burn.
Quinn has the Arcane Rune popped already. Just itching to use the Laguna Blade. Siege creep is taken out, but Onyx are here in numbers. Lesla dodges the enchant totem. Ata jumps in as the exorcism is popped. It looks like Sonics want to try to disengage, but looks like Lesla won't have the choice. Despite popping that blade mail, will drop. 5-Rat 4-Staff end up defending that tier 1 tower. Get their first kill of the game, but still behind by 4K.
and they lose bot tower.
Oh wow, yeah, you're right.
It's not a good trade whatsoever. I mean, in isolation, it looks okay, right? Their tower was getting pushed, they defend it, and they kill Legion, but the amount of rotation that this costs them is a net loss on the map by far. Like, Morphling gets more out of that than they do with their kill. Tower Gold invading the triangle and starts farming here. We're going to keep calling this triangle, by the way. It's the 2 camps and this secret shop. That's the triangle. There's only 2 camps now.
So the triangle tip is the
Nice
secret
fissure
shop.
steal. Easy kill on them.
Yep. DNM is dead. Nice rotations from Sonics again, and showing the global potential of Quinn as he can just TP back to the mid lane. And he is starting to, well, I shouldn't say starting, he is taking over the game since the 1 minute mark and expanding on this lead.
Took
it
over the
seems.
game when they picked Lina.
Yeah, it feels like it.
Very aggressive here onto Kits, alright. Been
Not gonna
pushing
be
it
able
a
to find
little
anything
bit
here.
there.
But this is what I was talking about, and I'm not saying the game is 100% over yet, but I feel like you need to try to cheese in a game like a series like this when you're kind of outclassed, because it feels like even if they had picked heroes that said that they kind of won the draft in a way, right? You didn't look at the teams, you'd want their draft, but Sonics are just better players,
Yeah,
more
'cause-
experienced team.
So my point was, if the drafts were flipped, I don't think Sonics would have lost the lanes like this, right? Like, that's the point. So they could have played the Dire lineup against the Radiant one, and they could have floated the lanes to an extent where maybe it was a slight loss in the lanes, but not like a 5k minute 13, right? So that's why I still like the Dire lineup as it looks, but they're just getting exploited too much by Quincy's formidable laning stage. So when you go up against a team like this and you know what your weakness is and what the enemy's strength is, you might have to cover that aspect more than you usually would against the other teams you play against in either Division 2 or bottom of Division 1, where stuff like this, where you can get away with it. Just a total difference of quality that they're up against compared to the last days here. Really showing that different level in lane mechanics.
They're smoking up. Yawar is who they would want to get, but obviously it's going to be a bit tough. Although the
Fissure into
silence, there's the fissure, silence to follow. Yawar is fine. No ice path.
They need
But they
to
will get a stack.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Yeah,
I think
it's
they
something.
need all 5, it feels like, at this point. Speed, obviously, I mean, he's having himself a pretty good game. He's the top net worth on his team.
Should look to their bottom
Obviously, yet to get a kill, but hasn't died yet either.
Comforting rune of
So still
regeneration.
deathless in his 2 DP games that we've cast.
Radiant's bottom tower is in danger.
I think he went
See if he
14 and 0 or
remains that.
something the other day.
Yep.
Pop Exo for this bot tower, but we'll see if they
Radiant's
even need it.
bottom tower is under attack.
Not sure if Sonics are even going to
Top
defend it.
tower is under attack.
As Quinn, at least he's had his boots of trial for a bit now.
Radiant's bottom tower
Just
is
a
in
Mithril
danger.
Hammer away from the BKB. And on Yawar's side, he is close to finishing a Manta style.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Exo still not being used bot. Like, picture this. DP has a pretty good game, right? They have not taken a tower minute 15. They've lost 3 with the DP Luna lineup.
Radiant's
They're finally going to brute force it here, and I think Sonics are just going to let them have it. It's not worth the risk. They have way more other stuff on the map that they can focus on.
But look at how scared they are.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Missing a
under
lot of
attack.
heroes, so
Radiant structures
gonna let
are
Speed do it
fortified.
solo. I think I'm quite
Fortification
some
comes
time. Yeah.
The
And
Dire
we can see on the mini-map, obviously,
hunt for
that
radiant forces.
Sonic's not remotely interested in defending. And man, they are really playing this defensively.
They're terrified.
They really are.
They
I
even
can't blame them.
scanned. They scanned while the glyph was on to see if Sonics were going for a rotation, and it scanned red, and it was just Fata.
Bottom
I mean, this
tower
is
under
3
attack.
members of 5-Rat standing around.
Radiant's
And
bottom tower
like while they
is
were
under
doing this, the lead got into the 7k ranges. Mid lane now, we're going to see the duel. Kits is dead. First damage goes the way of Leslau.
Blink reveal.
Yes, so already a Blink Blade Mail for him. Now we are at the 7k net worth advantage mark. This is shellacking territory, no doubt about it.
Leslau is just gonna squeeze every advantage he can. This is what you want to see from the strongest team in this qualifier, arguably, is that when they get ahead, they just keep, they just keep squeezing out advantage out of every situation. So they get this kill, and he knows for that reason that he camp away that Luna wanted, and Luna's just terrified and runs away. So
One form.
if you
Top
think about
lane,
it,
Giant's
oh boy.
dead.
Every time you steal a camp from an enemy carry that wanted it, it's like 150 gold difference, right? If the camp is worth 75, you got it and they didn't. So it's not just the gold you get, it's what they lost and the time that they spent walking over only to give it up and run away.
Dire's
Very
top tower
quickly
is
adds
under
up.
attack.
8k lead minute 17 with 6 kills. Just full on raw map victory.
Yep, were we right on our kills?
Dire should
Yep.
look
We were.
to their
They
tower
were
to
clear us.
7
I-
0 to 5. There were 3
Oh.
kills minute 10.
So far, it's as expected.
Yes.
The
Need more
trees are a
trees to be
bit
broken
low.
by Lena though.
They're a bit low. Why? You get those tree kills up. Prediction correct. As 5-Rat again kind of grouping up. And the problem is they don't have this Blink Dagger. They don't have the Shard for the Earthshaker. He's going to go for Shard first, which is something we've seen a lot recently. And Sonics are like, okay, you guys are going to just stand around. We're going to take Roche.
Yep. Roche number 1 will go to Yawar probably, or actually give the Aegis to Quinn. I think he wants to play more aggressive.
Will never go out.
Oh, they're gonna get the lift. LSA not gonna connect thanks to the sleight of fist, so Kits will do escape death this time. As Quinn, oh look at that, another rune for him. This time it is an invisibility.
Yeah, he's going to immediately put that to use TP bot and look for pick here. He wants to kill the Luna if possible. Has a pretty good read of where Luna should be farming. So he might run into him here. Bob's just barely out of range. He might see him. He'll see him now. He might turn around and go for this. Yep.
Yeah. All right, DNM, you're in a bit of trouble, my friend.
is under attack.
LSA, Laguna Blade, and eventually we'll go down, I assume, trying to run around these trees, but finally MSS comes to help finish the job. Blade Mail duel, that's another set of damage for Leslau as Kit's trying to get out with the Remnants. Looks like he'll be successful, but he dies to the tower. Oh my goodness, LSA connects onto Speed as a newly picked up BKB from Quinn. Just absolutely stomping their way in this game. It's going to be a full team wipe, and all they lost was the Rubik.
Their middle tower.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of those games where what can you really say, right? You lost in all aspects of the game as 5-Rat Forest. You lost all 3 lanes, you lost Roche, you lost on towers, and you're being outmaneuvered and outfarmed on the map. So the good news is you can improve on everything, and it will all make a difference. The bad news is there's a lot you need to improve on if you want to match this level of play. It's just a beatdown, really, and
Dire should look to their
I think,
top
you know,
tower.
you don't want to start thinking about game 2 already. You still want to play this to the end if you're 5 right? But let's be honest, their chances here are extremely slim of coming back from this. But my biggest piece of advice for the next game is avoid getting off to this bad of a start so you have a fighting chance. So you might have to
Great advice.
step away. I mean, you might have to step away from some of your comfort mid picks, for example, and pick something that just lanes better. Like, you have to give yourself a chance of getting
Cheese it up,
something done.
Cinder, and that's my strat. Cheese it up.
Yeah, but cheesing only works if the cheese hero wins its lane, right? Because, like, let's say you pick a hero like Brood, but you're picking it in an unfavorable matchup, it won't matter. Like, then you're just going to lose your lanes and have the same situation just with cheese picks. So,
Dire's top tower
Mozzarella it
to-
up.
set up better laning.
eager to know
Tier 2
Dire's
tower
purpose.
taken out.
Maybe tri-lane, maybe triple down on picking really strong dual lanes. So, not Shaker, but getting something like Marcy that saw Sonic's take here. You know, whatever it takes to have laning presence.
Dire's top tower is
Probably going to be
under
step
attack.
number 1.
Well, 12k lead for Sonics. Aegis still there for 2 full minutes. And Quinn already has his Shadow Blade going towards the Silver Edge to
Dire's top
get a little
tower is under
crit
attack.
action. Yawar
Money to
he has
burn.
a BKB that is yet to be used. Now working on a Scotty.
Choice to go BKB straight after the mentor. I mean, it is a great
Oh.
BKB game, but
This Luna might be dead. Cinder and Quinn. MSS. That loosened beam
Better than
to the other side, and that's going to be enough for the kill. Meanwhile, Leslau gets a kill onto Giant. He got damage for that as well, so already 50 dual damage for Leslau. Bede wants to get a support kit, wants to get anything here, but he's going to get stun locked, it looks like. LSA into the right clicks, and the Dragon Slave. So Quinn getting another kill to his name, 5-0-3, as nothing stopping them from going high ground, and again the Aegis still intact.
Fortified.
we might end up being wrong on the trees prediction because they're just crushing the game too fast and they didn't
Yeah.
break them. So the prediction is at 30 minutes, but what if the game isn't 30 minutes? Then
We
they
need
don't get to play
Jakiro
enough.
to use some macro pliers on the trees, not on the lane, on the trees. This
break
tower is
trees?
dead. I thought it did. Am I wrong?
I
pretty
don't
sure it does.
remember. I think it does.
Fairly sure.
Searing heat.
Fairly sure, Cinder.
Top barracks
Oh, that's one lane of barracks, minute 22.
Radiant's bottom tower is
Fortification
under
is up, but not sure if that's even a point in using it.
attack. Dire's top barracks has fallen.
And Aegis down in 20, so we'll see how reserved they want to be from Sonic's side. I'm sure they know that they are up by a monumental amount at the moment. Hey, another rune for Quinn. Regen this time.
Yeah, has Ember got a rune?
I don't remember him
I don't
getting
think
anything
he's
other
had
than a water
in
rune.
23 minutes.
Is under
Water
attack.
rune. Technically
Yeah.
counts. Power
You
rune?
don't
I
even get a
think so.
water rune.
Yep. And yeah, Yawar gets a kill here. And
Albino
hey,
zebra, more like
hey,
albino
stacked.
Sia.
Wow, that was really bad. I'm gonna
Thank you.
ignore that comment.
You loved it.
Kind of did.
You
regeneration.
did. I
He's
know you.
dad. I mean, that's not even a dad joke, though. That's
It's a dead joke
Dire's middle
because he
tower
died.
is no
yeah, it is a dead joke in many
No.
ways.
DNM.
18k
Actually,
lead at
DNM doesn't have
23
BKB.
minutes.
I think he's probably dead here to Quinn if he finds the angle.
Yep.
See you
Laguna.
later.
Wait. And oh, Yawar steals
Nice,
it.
Yawar. And they're gonna
Quinn
duel.
can't fight
speed.
solo. Yeah. Not enough to get the damage this time, but still will get the kill. They can just barrel down mid if they want, or they can wait for that second rush, which would help with our predictions, of course, Cinderin. Very important.
Why would that help?
Because wait, how many rushes? Oh, we picked 0 to 2. Okay, I forgot it was a range. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another hero dies for 5 rat. All right, so we still need 100, like 90 trees. We need 90 trees killed somehow.
Yeah.
And if we get that, we will
Quell it
have
up.
a 4 for 4, which will be the first time.
That's true. So it's not going to happen.
Yeah, we haven't had over 50% though. We haven't gotten 3 out of 4, so that's
Haven't we?
nice.
One time? No, actually, maybe not.
We've been
We
really
haven't always
bad.
predicted the same, but I think the best. I think our best score has actually been 2 out of 4. I think you're right.
Yeah.
It's gonna. Ooh, good reaction. Gets out in time. His
Yeah.
grand reward will be fountain healing. He got a power rune, by the way. He has arcane.
Oh, you're right. How did he manage that?
Quinn was top, I think.
Well, he's 100 gold from BKB. That might be the go time for them. Or it might be now, actually, because they are smoked up already.
Trying to get a
Giants.
surprise jump.
Yeah,
Fissure. Okay.
that's fine.
Much of a surprise now.
I mean, they don't really have a jump of any kind, because still 1,000 away from Blink on Giant.
Radiant are scanning for enemy.
MSS.
Side for full heal.
Yep, Quinn. Get harassed by these illusions. There's the fissure. This is the setup now. But
Let's
the
see if
save
that-
again from the telekinesis. That is the shard coming out, and that is a dual victory for Lesla on the speed. DNM is dead. 5 rat, 4 staff, dropping like flies. And that's going to be a double kill for Yawar. I would expect GG's to come out here any moment. Means the trees challenge will not be successful for us, Cinderin. But Sonics will be successful in taking game 1 in a Gaben shellacking. This was not remotely close.
This was more of a stomp than I was expecting. I mean, we were talking about how Sonics are the clear favorites for this series, but when I saw the draft and when the 5 rat were putting, I thought it was going to be better than this. I didn't think they were going to win, but I also didn't think they were going to get stomped by 1k gold per minute, minute 25. So